Hello, welcome back, boys and girls. Today we have another remarkable story. Today's book is called Dragon Stones, written by Carolyn Watson Dubisch. Now, this remarkable book is about two lovely kids who decided to go on a walk in the woods, and they ended up having a magical adventure. Now, let's see what happens. Let's get started. Aunt Edwina clucked her tongue and shook her hair. My mom was going and on and on about our neighbor's front lawn. And my father nodded vigorously as if a couple of plastic flamingos were bound to destroy us all. And Aunt Edwina's silver, wavy hair stuck out electrically from the sides of her head, and my brother Ron was kicking his foot against the coffee table. The tray of blueberry scones bounced slowly across the table just as they reached the edge. And Edwina's aunt darted out and scooped up the whole tray. How about you kids take a walk? The woods are so pretty in autumn. Yes, go outside, said my mother, interrupting her rant. Aunt Edwina smiled mysteriously as she replaced the scones on the coffee table. And Ron and I jumped up and made an hasty exit. Now, Ron bolted across Aunt Edwina's perfectly manicured lawn to the edge of the woods, and the leaves were steadily falling in the breeze, but they all landed in the woods or the road. Not a single leaf dared to touch my aunt's lawn. Ron had found the path and started to disappear down, and I had to jog just to keep up with him. Wait! Wait for me! It only took a minute to get to the pond. The surface sparkled in the sun, but a dense mist stretched across the middle of the pond, making it difficult to see the other side. And Ron picked up a small, flat rock and skipped it out towards the middle. I can skip 6 times, I said, and jumped down to the water's edge. And I bent down to pick up a rock when one thumped me in the leg. Ouch! Hey! Don't throw rocks at me! I shouted at Ron. But the puzzled look on his face told me that it wasn't him. I didn't. It came from out there. And he pointed to the mist. Throw another one. And this time, he took a larger flat rock and skipped it 4 times into the mist. 1, 2, 3, 4. We could still hear it skipping when it came back towards us and landed steaming in the mud next to my feet. I handed Ron another stone, and he threw it with all his might, but the third stone came skipping back like the others. Just as it reached the shore, Ron reached down to catch it. Ouch! He shrieked and dropped the stone. It burned me. Lizzie, it's really hot. And I looked down at the three stones and the steam that was still rising from them. I picked up the first one that hit me in the leg. I hadn't felt the heat through my dress, but it was still warm. Maybe someone's throwing them. Let's go to the other side. Ron nodded in agreement as he sucked on his sore fingers. Carefully, we plodded along the shoreline, stepping on and around rocks and weeds. The pond was a lot larger than it looked. Just as we thought, perhaps we should turn back. And we found ourselves engulfed in a thick, white smoke. And coughing, I tumbled to the ground and found Ron was already there coughing next to me. Close to the ground, the smoke was thinner. Something moved quickly through the smoke, and the rock that I brought started to warm up in my hand. A glowing red spiderweb like pattern appeared over the rock surface. Run! Look at the rock! I whispered. Weird. Why are you whispering? Because someone's out there. And a cracking, rustling noise filled the harsh silence. Who's there? Ron shouted into the smoky void surrounding us. Why have you come here? Rumbled a deep, gravely voice. And at the sound of the voice, the smoke grew thicker and the air hotter. The ground trembled, and through the dense white void that surrounded us appeared the huge head of a dragon. His blazing yellow eyes burrowed as he peered at Ron and I. What's this? Human? Children? But how did you cross the barrier? And my gaze fell upon the glowing stone. So you're the ones throwing rocks at me. He grinned wickedly, showing a mouthful of sharp and pointy teeth. You mean you're the one throwing them back? Did I hit you? As you can see, you hit me. He gestured to his back, which was covered with the same spiderweb pattern that marked the stone. Why did that happen? I whispered in horror, and the dragon snorted and growled. That mark has been upon me ever since that vile witch Edwina trapped me here, banished forever from the human world, to where only magical creature may tread. And his voice became shrill as he spoke, and he strummed and shook with anger. And then, in a flash, His massive face was next to mine. Until now. It's been 500 years since I smelled a human, and you smell just as tasty as I remember. Huh? And with his hot breath upon me, I was sure I was doomed. I stood frozen to the spot, unable to move. And Ron tugged on my sleeve and pointed into the smoky void. And I could see a shadowy figure coming towards us. Now the dragon's eyes narrowed with suspicion. An instant later, there in front of us stood Aunt Edwina, and she held both hands up in front of her, palms facing us. "Leave these children alone!" she shouted. "Or I will banish you so far away. You will be alone for all eternity." The dragon shuddered with fright, and he backed away from my face and slipped back into the white and smoky void. Now Ron and I stood with our mouths agape and stared at our aunt. Aunt Edwina smiled and put her arms around our shoulders, and then she led us out of the dragon's lair. Now, when we reached the far side of the pond, I stopped to pick up the dragon stones that we'd left behind, and they too had the dragon's spiderweb mark. And as we walked back to the house, Ron was the first to speak. "Aunt Edwina, how did you know to come and save us?" And Aunt Edwina frowned a brow. "Are you kidding? I'm just glad you stayed out of the backyard." Huh? Wow. What a remarkable, remarkable story. Thank you for joining us for this wonderful story time. We thank you for being here. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you soon. Bye.